And also, like, me being a challenge fan, I'm like, give me.
Oh, 100%. That's a great thing because, like, we can listen to Tori
we have
and
all these
Anissa's and everything, but then they're just gonna,
you know
they're gonna get a call back, and you have to like
they have to be
dial
careful.
back. But she's like, I don't care.
Well, they comb through. From what I can understand, like a podcaster from like a different TV show has said, there have been episodes of her podcast that like production has been like, nope, sorry, you can't do that because you talked about something that's going to be on the show, like, so we've got to like get rid of this part. Like they go in and they comb through it, so like she doesn't have to do that. So she's freaking awesome. What up, challenge fans? This is Final Alliance Podcast, and we are together,
and we're back
recapping episode 19 of the challenge, season 39, titled Only One Gets the Crown.
No more Zoom in the same room. Here we are.
Yep. You're a poet, you don't know it.
Who gets the crown? All right. We talked a lot about this. We speculated the last 2 weeks, and here we are in the final. So,
and we were mostly right.
Yeah. Very much so, yeah.
Puzzle heavy final.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do we like the puzzle heavy final?
You know, this is going to be a good conversation between the two of us. It's good for production. It's good for the will they, won't they, who's going to do this,
for
whatever else, because I think we're jumping ahead to like this thing like, oh my goodness, is such going to win, but again, I think we're smart enough to know who's going to win, to be like, okay, production's just only dragging us along this way. Yes, it was very puzzle heavy. I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to paddle this back to you. Do you like this?
I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I like that, I've always liked that puzzles and eating are equalizers. Mm-hmm. Those are the two that are always equalizers. They utilize the both of them in this final. I would have liked to seen a little bit more, maybe running, endurance. I'm always a fan of endurance.
All right. We'll paperclip that endurance thing, though, because I want to talk to you about that, though. Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that we saw a whole lot of strength on like day 2 of the final. Was not a fan of the not sleeping. I'm not a fan of the not sleeping.
Okay, that's where I was going to say the endurance or whatever else. Why don't you like the not sleeping? And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just asking a question.
I get that it puts everybody at the same, like, we're all in this like just terrible position, but I want them to still be like sort of at their best against each other.
Yeah.
And I think not sleeping at all, just it makes you vulnerable. It makes you maybe react differently than you would have. Things we see like with Corey. I think like Corey's height situation. I think that he reacted more than he would have had he been rested.
All right. So, here's the thing about the not sleeping. All right. So you win. You get to choose between, what is it? A pillow, a blanket, a cot. But you can't sleep.
Right.
That's the weird part. Okay.
Right.
Like, it's like, I'm going to make you. So even if and I think there was, like I just gave you
first, second, third place got those
and
options.
Then 5 or 6, 4th, 5th, or 6th, or whatever.
Fourth and fifth got nothing.
What's the difference between if you have a pillow or you have a cot over rocks? You're gonna get tired. But if you have to stand on your feet, you're actually okay. I would have been fine with any of this. To be honest with you, this would not have bothered me at all. Sleeping. We always talk about would you like to do it? How would you do with this? How would you feel? This not sleeping thing.
I can't not sleep.
Wouldn't phase me. And this is a thing that we talked about a lot last night. We were watching it. This is the one of the few times recently we didn't watch it together. So I watched Chelsea and she was like, "Oh no," because she likes to sleep. And I'm like, this wouldn't even bother me one bit. Not one bit would this bother me to be up all night.
So I have, a a baby.
Yeah.
And so I've been much better about surviving on less sleep and way less sleep than I thought that I was capable of. However, do you remember earlier in the season when we watched an episode and I literally fell asleep in the episode?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that's your life and that's what happens. Yes, it does. Yeah.
So it's just, so with me being in this point in my life, and you know what, even not being in this point in my life, I don't like the no sleep. I'm down for them giving them tasks. Do this tile thing. Stand on a log. Blah, blah, blah. Give them a couple hours.
Yeah.
Come on.
But my point is this. I wouldn't want that cot. I wouldn't want that pillow.
Well, it wasn't a cot. It was like a small
Doesn't matter.
chair.
I would rather get fourth or fifth. And Chelsea said, she's like, well, what would you do? I'm like, I'd recreate every scene from the movie Grease over for these people to keep them up. And she's like, seriously? I'm like,
well, they can't air any of it because of copyrights
either. I've thought
either.
About this way too much. Like
maybe they did because they didn't show us a whole lot of that. So maybe they were like, okay, so what's your favorite episode? Like in Dazed and Confused, when they're like writing down all the episodes of Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
It's like that. Like they probably were doing those kind of things to keep each other up. I did love that camaraderie.
Yeah.
Where they were like keeping each other up.
Because like I thought about and going back and it's not like we're overstepping boundaries talking about Big Brother because now our show, The Challenge, has gone into the Big Brother realm.
Sphere.
There used to be the thing where there was like, you know, you would be sequestered by yourself for 24 hours. And people like, you go crazy. I'm like, I would never go crazy. Like, what do you mean? I'm like, I would just recreate every scene of Grease and I'd play all the parts. Like that. I know that movie.
Who's your favorite side character in Grease?
It's Kaneki.
Kaneki?
Yeah. I mean,
he's good.
Like, it's Kaneki. No one else in T-Birds is worth anything. I mean, Rizzo's up there. Don't get me wrong, but she's. I just don't like how she comes off like she's very much older than everybody else in the movie. She is nothing. Soccer Channing. I mean, just shout out to her.
Kind of like Andrea on 90210.
Yeah, and we all knew, but we let it go. And then Frenchie's okay, but I mean, yeah, I would say it's Kaneki. Yeah,
Marty. What was her name?
Marty. Yeah.
Oh, I loved her.
Maraschino. Yeah.
Like the cherry.
Yeah. Let's see, we get it. Yeah. See, we could do this.
Yeah. Oh my God, we could. Yeah, and everybody knows all. Yeah. That's anyway. Good.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that wouldn't bother me to stay up all night. It wouldn't.
But okay, so since maybe someone's gonna see this, challengers, what did you do to occupy yourselves to keep yourselves awake?
What movie could you quote over and over again like that?
Okay? So we've got Grease as a quotable movie that we quote over and over.
The reason why it also makes it thing is you could sing the songs.
Right.
So that's different. Like you could sit there
and
say like
the Disney. You could do like Lion King.
Yeah, I couldn't do that though.
You couldn't do Lion King?
No, not at all. No, I have not seen it nearly.
It's our age difference.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, the movie came out in 94. Yeah, Grease, 78.
It's like 9.
Yeah, whatever else. But yeah.
Dirty Dancing? Oh, we could do Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, but I mean, well, yeah. There's a couple songs in between, yeah. But not nearly as much as I know. Like, I mean.
My best friend Elise and I could absolutely do Dirty Dancing from start to finish.
But that's my point here, and I think that's what people, the listeners and people watching, shout out for you for watching also on our YouTube, is that when you have these situations and you're thinking about like what they're doing the challenge, like how do you put yourself in the situation? How do you survive? Mm-hmm. Instead of walking around just being like, TJ's so mean. I never saw this challenge coming. Like you have to put your mind somewhere else that's going to get over it.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
That's my opinion. Sorry.
We do need to take to take. We need to take.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to think. Because I mentioned Huey because it was Huey's elimination that I sadly fell asleep in. So, shout out to Huey. Manuel made the most boring of choices, like what we expected, but I don't know that I thought that it was the right choice based on like where she was at in the game. Votes in Nerys. And then we have the draw, which I thought was an interesting choice, but I really thought that there was going to be a champ. Didn't you think they'd have to go against a champ?
No, not at our house. It was completely like we thought the way it was gonna go. Yeah.
You thought it was gonna be Mariah for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. We were all like, this sucks. It was just one of those weird things. Like everybody right on board in the house was just like, fell into, was like, that makes sense. This sucks type of thing. Yeah. But yeah.
So Nerys and Mariah go against each other. They got a puzzle. I don't know, fitting looks like big sponges
Yeah.
into a container, getting them right. Nerys gets it.
Did she? I mean, they had Mariah like winning it up until
they did make it look that way. They really
entire
did,
time.
and I was like kind of like nervous. I was like,
oh
wait,
yeah,
no.
I was like, no, because I was thinking about it last week where I'm like, here's where at a pecking order, and I'm like, do I look like a fool about talking about Mariah being like all she can do is wear like clothes that are cut off at other angles, and then like, oh, Mariah's winning. And I was like, oh no, never mind. Reset it the entire time. Sorry, what was I doing? Even questioning production again because I keep falling for this. I tell everyone not to fall for it, but I do.
And, I mean, and she was super sweet, and she said, like this is not someone I wanted to go against.
Yeah,
and obviously Nerys didn't want that either, and said she wanted to come back bigger and stronger, but not bigger here, like her arms, and I don't think that's where she needs any kind of improvement. Like the girl is strong.
Yeah, I
think she's got endurance as well. She clearly played a good political game because she kept herself safe, saved somebody else that was like not even in her alliance.
Yeah, I
don't know that. I mean, obviously, like when you're like being asked questions like, "What would you do, like to change it or like to be better in the future or whatever?" You've got to say something. But I think she's good where she's at.
No, I agree with that. I would have questioned it until you just pointed that out, that she had a strong political game and she also protected somebody else. At the same time, protecting her from somebody else's umbrella, Johnny Bananas. She did a good job. So I mean, I can't remember. He's done this now like 4 episodes in a row. TJ did not give her a good send off.
Well, yeah, everybody just gets take care.
Everyone, it's not like, well, I'm sure we'll see you soon. But I don't like that. Why?
I don't know.
I like,
maybe I feel like they're on to people saying that about the TJ goodbye. And so he isn't allowed.
The production told him. TJ's
not
the type to allow production to tell him goodbye or not. I mean, it's his final.
It is his final.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the TJ goodbye. If I don't see it, I get automatically, I'm like, oh boy, not good.
Yeah. I think Mariah,
she should get it.
She should get the
absolutely,
like, again.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything wrong about her foul. Yeah.
And sorry, I apologize. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm sorry if it sounds weird. That's just what's going on. Yeah, this night portion with the tiles. I like the tiles. Very Big Brother-esque. They do it with almost like an egg or something. They do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they would. Yeah, they do it with the ping pong balls or an egg. Yeah. I mentioned that to the people at my house watching. I'm like, this is nothing to me. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, this is Big Brother. Yeah,
right. It's always one where it's like
it's dumping the tiles.
They show us for 45 seconds, and then we all go watch the live stream to see how.
But it was
goes.
like where you could dump the tiles. That's the thing I couldn't figure out. I couldn't figure out who it was going to, because it seemed like you could dump some somewhere else, but it seemed like they dumped more like towards somewhere. It was so like it was a weird edit.
Gave hers to Manuel and Colleen. She didn't say anything about why she gave him to Manuel. But I mean, like, we all know why she gave him to Manuel, because he voted her in. It looked
like she sent him to Manuel, but then it looked like she sent like everything to Colleen because they're different colors. The colors were weird.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But then it seemed like I didn't catch this, and then I was watching Angel Cakes earlier, which if you don't follow Angel Cake, great recap.
Do it.
Then once so like she was first place. So then the next person then gets to also sabotage. And then the next person also then gets to sabotage. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I would have just thought it would have been like first place sabotage. That's it.
Yeah, instead of having the waterfall. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It looked like though she did a little bit, and then majority here, Colleen, Moline, whatever you want to call her. Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
But it didn't do anything. Like this
No, it
is
didn't do
my
anything.
thing with
It
the
didn't do
like no sleep. Okay, so had this have been to my recollection, the only other challenge where they weren't allowed to sleep was World Championships. The others, they might have gotten little sleep on night portions, but they were still allowed to sleep. So
you had to tag out. You had to like stand on a stump or whatever else, but you had
Right.
to tag out.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, and then there's been other seasons where it's like, yeah, you got to do this task, but once you're done with the task, you can go to sleep.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, this kind of served really no purpose because it was just giving people something to do to occupy their time.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But like, I wish, like, if I could go back in time, like magic wand, whatever, that it was if you're like when you finish this, maybe you have one more task because I mean this was like 10 o'clock at night. They could have done maybe one more task, right, and then gone to sleep. But yeah, you finish this, and then you do another task. You like ride a bike for 50 miles or whatever they've done
Sure.
before.
No. This is all making sense. Yeah.
And then you get
and
to
everyone
sleep.
listen.
So whereas like yeah, because the sabotage would have been really freaking key because then they're even more tired,
Yeah.
right? But at this point, the sabotage was just like, okay, it gives them something else to do to occupy their time. It gives us something else to do to like watch.
This final doesn't really. A lot of it doesn't compute.
It
to be
just
honest
it
with
was
you, like, and
it
you'll
was-
go
it
through
was
some more
so
things.
freaking close.
Like each one, and like who gets to go where, and it was never like you have a 5 minute you timed out. They never gave you that corner piece. You know what I'm saying? Like when they'll sit there and say later on, and we'll talk about it. Well, you're timed out or whatever. Like this many minutes behind, or you have
Tell
to do
me,
this.
yes.
Tell me why they're going down, gonna repel, and why they're going at this rate, which you're gonna get to. So I apologize for jumping ahead of time.
Oh no, you're good.
Yeah.
So to my knowledge, so the next morning, 5:30 a.m., it's light out and stuff. I always think about this with these overnight challenges. Must that be terrible to like have there be like a cameraman and like a producer sitting there like with coats on and like drinking their coffee, and like people go leave and go like probably to like the trailer or the like porta potty or whatever, go to the restroom and stuff while you're just like sitting there having to like.
Sure.
Those are the kind of things I want to hear about. Like, so we need to like make a point to try to like get some interviews to like hear about this kind of stuff.
I would love to hear about that.
Do you know what
stuff.
I mean?
And we talk about this quite often about like when they explain the game.
The lights.
They explain the game. They're like, and they go, the game didn't start for 2 more hours because everyone's asking like, but can I poke them in the eyes? Or what else? I would also like to have that time when you're alone and you're doing whatever else, and then they are, like you said, 2 guys across the way and be like, must be a great day, Jason, for you that you get to go to bed at any time. And he's just like, not allowed to talk to you, Corey. And Corey's like, okay, Jason, but I'm allowed to talk to you as much as I want to.
Subs,
Yeah.
like they like
and he's completely like
craft
just
services.
yeah,
It's probably not
just belittling him because he's just so mad. He's just like, all right, Jason. And he keeps going on and on. And the guy's like, I'm just holding the camera, Corey. I don't know what else you say. But he's got, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're so angry about things, you got to take it out on someone. Can't take it on TJ.
Mm-hmm.
It's his final. And these people, somehow you might have to run with them, but you're just constantly just, you've got to. You've got to take it out on something or someone.
So, like, I like have conversations with people, like get to know people. It'd be like PM on The Office. I'd be like, so like, tell me about your life. Like, what's going on? Like,
oh yeah, I do that too. Yeah. Yeah, it was the same thing. It'd be like, all right, if I keep saying Jason, but like Tom. So how's Pam?
We got a haircut.
Pam? Yeah. So Pam, your wife's good. Last time I saw you last season, remember? How old is Junior now? Oh, awesome, great. He's walking. Oh, you just had a FaceTime today. That's great. He's playing soccer. Oh, I do that too. I would completely befriend them.
Not handle it. Yeah. That'd be so But then also be on the other side of the coin. Like, be like, I'm not allowed to talk to them. And these are like these people are cast because they are extremely charismatic people, and
Yeah.
you're not allowed to talk to them.
No, you'd talk to them.
Oh, yeah,
Even
I
if they
would,
stare,
which
you're
is
like,
why
I'm allowed to. I'm going to keep talking to you. Yeah, even if the person on the
you
other
can
side of
get
production,
fired.
yeah, be like, I'm still going to talk to you. I'd start making up stuff. Be like, I know your story. Yeah, come on. Yeah. What are they? And then on top of it, but also I would talk to the castmates, the people that are in there. Be like, all right, so where are we going to be going on vacation? Instagram coming up soon. Come on, let's figure out, where do you want to go? You're at your most miserable right now. We are agreeing that we're all going on vacation.
Oh, so
where do
you're
you want to go?
cheerleading them?
Yeah, at the same time, because you have to. It's 4:00 in the morning, 3:30. Why wouldn't you even be like, yeah, I'm going to beat your ass tomorrow? Like, we're gonna go somewhere after this. Like, we're cool. Like, pay attention, everyone. Well, obviously, Battle of Champions. We've never been champions, but we all know that people from, the challenge, they go on things together. Are we gonna do it? If someone says no, be like, okay, well, you're out. Berna, it's definitely Berna. Yeah. And the rest of you guys, where would you like to go? That sounds great. All right, I know a travel agent.
They did release pictures. They all had fun times after season wrapped.
Good. Was Berna there?
I think so.
Yeah.
And Mariah and Jay, because it was the people that were
the reunion.
No.
Oh.
The people that from the final, Mariah and Jay were eliminated from
the
final.
Yeah.
So they were all still there.
So
it was
like I said,
day later.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Yeah.
So they all got to have.
Oh, they got to go to TJ's suite afterwards because we know about that.
I'm sure they did that. TJ, I feel like is we're cool.
That's how it goes, right?
Go to TJ's suite.
Yes, this has been talked about now twice. Wyckoff.
No.
Yes, it has. Bananas talked about it once after one episode,
They don't go party at TJ's suite. No.
And
he
Big
knows
E.
About TJ's suite,
no, he did. They all went in there. Bananas talked about one. All 8 of them went into that. They're like, okay, you're done, or whatever. I'll say it's over. And they put him in this thing, and they're like, oh, this is great. We're sweet.
They stayed there. It wasn't hi, I'm TJ.
No, they stayed. TJ. He had already left. He's back home with his wife and kids.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant TJ's oh, good job, guys.
No, heck no. TJ's gone. He's like, now you can have.
I don't party, I don't drink, and I'm the host of the show, but party here. That's what I thought you were saying.
No. TJ's like, I'm out. You guys can clean up after me, but I'm back home with the wife and kids.
Gotcha.
Or whatever else. Same thing when they talked about Big E after his 6-pack or whatever else. When Bananas and CT were talking about Big E when he, the bad decision, Big E.
No.
All right, you didn't listen to Bananas and CT podcast?
I did half.
Okay. Well, we all know, during one of those situations, CT was like, all right, I want Big E in there. And Bananas it's bad. This is a bad choice. So he ended up, the EMT started taking him. So after when all wrapped up, they go back and they're like, hey, yeah. And Big E, CT's like, oh my God, is Big E okay? And they're like, yeah, he's right here. And he was in his suite, just drinking beers. And CT walks in. He's like, you just cost me a final, bro. And he's like, yeah. And Bananas is like, I guarantee you that was TJ's suite that you just walked into. So anyway, yeah.
Okay, I got to go back and finish
Yeah.
I got to go back.
So
TJ arrives by boat at 5:30 a.m. It's conquest time, day 2 of the final. You got to swim 2,000 meters to this island, and then there's 3 checkpoints. And I guess yesterday's times are over.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And it wasn't a big deal that he's like, you got to swim, because some people don't like swim. It was like, hey, the boat's out here. And then if you watch the cut, the editing, it's like, because I even said, I'm like, is he swimming to him? Because we've talked about this plenty of times. I don't like things that live in water. I'm like, is he swimming to him? Is this a big deal? And then they cut, and it's just like, now they're in life vests. And I was like, what? Did he tell them that you have to do this? And maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Or I thought he was going to come on and be like, you come swim to me, and I'm going to take you on this boat over there, but you're going to lose by time if you don't get here. So,
Yeah, I really don't remember the swim portion. I watched this morning very early.
It was nothing. Anyway.
And they got check 1, which is they've got to rappel down 700 feet off a cliff They got to do the energy drink beforehand, and then there's a puzzle.
This one's terrible. By the way,
It's not great.
this all you have to do is just put the drink in your mouth and act like you're vomiting, which is fine.
I saw that.
It's fine. I'm okay with that.
It did look like where she like started to drink, she being Berna, and like as she was like throwing up, like poured some out, or like, pretending to throw up, gagging, she poured some out.
But this is the one thing where, in my home watching this, okay, and if you were watching with me, the White House, you would have said
the energy drink. That's the tuna, the mayo, the beet.
Yeah, yeah. But you would have said like, okay, we get it. We talk about it. You would have said over and over again. And the same thing. And in my home, same thing. I'm like, Corey is in tears. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't do this. TJ's like, you're doing this.
I love TJ's.
Yeah. And he's like, I can't do this.
I'm not gonna let you quit.
Yeah. And all I'm saying is there are 22-year-old production assistants that ran this as an intern, maybe made $50 an hour or whatever else.
I don't think that that's the true case anymore. I think they have like people of a higher level that test it. I think they have testers now that are at a higher level. I think, not production assistants like in the years past. Anyway, continue. I apologize for interrupting.
So, how much do you think these people make a year then?
I don't know.
Do they make $240,000 or $260,000
I don't
a year?
know their life. I don't even know what their title is called.
But they're running down there, and these people,
they get to travel the world and do fun things.
So do these contestants, these athletes. They're making $260,000 or whatever else. That's the possibility, right?
Why are we saying 260?
Isn't it what 260, 240, $250,000? What do they get? What did Emmanuel get?
250, and then you get an appearance fee, whatever that was.
So, do you think these people that work in MTV that are running this down there are making $260,000?
I would say it's probably likely that no, they are not.
So, my point is still kind of the same. That yeah, they might not be production assistants or interns, but there are people that are putting their life on the line to make sure that these people are safe for less amount of money than Corey to be like, I don't know, TJ, I just can't do it.
Fear of heights is a real thing.
Sure it is.
And I really do stand by, I think that was just exhaustion. I think that was like, okay, I've got a fear of heights and I'm freaking exhausted. Like, I find I am extremely more vulnerable in the morning. Like, I will cry at some stupid stuff in the morning, like when I'm first waking up, more than I would at like 3 p.m. I don't know why. It's just like a sleepy thing. But like, if I had like no sleep,
he would have taken. He would have.
I disagree.
If they all the time it happens. Someone says something. I can't swim. I can't have heights. We just watched Home Turf Darrell when he talks about it, where he gets over it. He gets mad about things.
I actually watched.
Amanda talks about it too. Like they all have these fears or whatever else. But the thing is like, guess what? They don't have a fear of cashing that check at the end, and then they go, "Oh, I guess it wasn't that big of a deal." But why make this dramatic thing of like?
I think the dramatic, like I think he probably would have been scared initially. I think the dramatic is the sleep deprivation.
I don't like things that live in water. I'd swim the crap out of anything that was out there. Nothing that's gonna bother me.
You are tougher than the average bear.
I appreciate that, but yeah,
you really are. But at the end of the day, he still did it. He could have tapped out. Yes, TJ was like, "You're doing it. I'm not letting you quit." But he still could have been like, "I'm not doing this."
No, he was never gonna tap out. It just makes better television or whatever else, and we all know it. It just makes better to be like, "Well, hey, you can feed into this a little bit more."
And there could have easily been somebody right there, been like, "Tell me what you're feeling right now. Why do you feel so scared? What is it about heights that makes you so nervous? Is it that you're on your stomach? Is it that you could see yourself falling?" Like they're egging him on.
No, I'm with you. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
It just annoyed the hell out of me, and it's always like it's just too much. Like this is what I'm doing the show for, but I can't do the show anymore because of my personal things. But my personal family is why I'm doing it, and I'm doing other reasons. Like, just go do it. Go be a winner in what was put in front of you, period. And why can we not just do that in life? Like, someone gives you a goal, puts it in front of you, says, that's the goal, you need to go do it. You signed up for it, and just go do it without having some type of motivation or some type of obstacle to overcome to get there.
Yeah.
Because we all have fears. We all have obstacles to get over to our goal. But now we have to do it to be like, oh, and I talked about it last week. Listen, love it. Corey, I want nothing but the best of you. I think you should be on every season, whatever else. But it's all
absolutely
Bernard's got to do it, and then Emmanuel's got to give my family or whatever else. And I tell you that all the time. Like, realistically, though, it's about the $250,000. Let's be honest, and that's going to be my CT because I got to throw it out. It's not about the bread, yeah. Anyway, sorry to go on a tangent. I apologize. Yeah.
I think someone like Corey who has watched the show for years and did a season and then was put on, being an alternate for a couple seasons and then finally got his call back. I think it does mean more. I think it does mean more as far as like just to get the win, to finish the final, to do that, to prove to himself, because, I finally got this call. This is a show I always wanted to do. And then I had there were 3 seasons where I was just an alternate and I never got to be on it. Now I'm finally on it.
Again, I don't want to spread this out too much longer than it needs to, Sarah, but when is that narrative in the story at all? Because that's a great narrative, by the way.
Thank you.
It is a great narrative to be like, I've done this, I've been an alternate, or I've been here, I've done whatever. In this, I'm overcoming. And everyone would be like, that's great. And again, I said this a little bit last week, and I'm going to say it again. Yes, he is gay, and yes, he is black. And for him to say, like, I'm the first gay black guy, we get it. But we're more of a society that's like, oh, no. We're good with that. But you have that. I was an alternate, and I got turned down for this season. I got turned that, or I was right there, or I was on the plane, and they told me not to. And everyone's going to go, no effing way. You were there for this one. You were there for that one. You were that one. Hell yeah. And nothing against him, because don't get me wrong. I don't want to take anything away from his plight of his sexual preference or his race or anything like that. But as challenge fans, I don't think we're looking at it like, no, a gay person shouldn't win it or a minority should win. You know what I'm saying? But we want someone to win it who was in 5 different seasons trying their hardest to win it. And that's when you look at it and go, that's the guy for me.
Right. I've already spoken my piece about his life experiences, and I think he's freaking wonderful. I think he's really awesome. But you're right. That narrative of how he was an alternate a couple times after, you know what I mean? And then finally got back on the show and I feel worked his way to be back on the show. He was really good on Twitter and social media and stuff to kind of be look, what can I do to in my opinion, get cast again?
But flashback to our episodes doing this, our podcast doing it, where I'm he's got a terrible social game. He came out horrible at the beginning of the season in the first 3 episodes. And I'm I don't care about this Corey guy. And even last week, I'm he's not going to win it. But you tell me that, and I'm oh, he's trying to figure out his social game and his physical game and everything else to not be an alternate anymore, to be reoccurring. And it is to be recurring. And when you listen to the rest of it, CT will tell you that majority of the time, the younger people will say to him, you think I'm doing okay? Do you think they'll ask me back? And CT's dude, just be you.
Right.
And he's it will be within the first couple days. Do you think I'm going to be asked back? Do you think I'm doing? And CT's be you. Just continue to be you.
Right.
And Corey, that story alone, I'd rather have that welcome home than maybe a couple others. I want that. I was an alternate. I want that. I want that feeling of here I am in the airport, and they're in Buenos Aires, and they're Now you're going home. You were there that close.
Right.
He's like, all right. And that will be the thing that everybody will connect to. So I'm sorry for going on a wild tangent
Right.
about this, but I do want to connect with Corey. That's the thing.
I'd love to interview him.
Yeah. To hear that story would be amazing. To be
Yeah.
honest with you. Yeah. So sorry.
Oh, all good.
And let's fast forward through the whole thing, like getting to the final jog or whatever else. Manuel, it's not as close as you think.
Yeah.
Nerys, not as close. It's just
They make us think that Corey and Kelly are close. They're not even.
no, they're not even not at all.
I hope so.
Yeah.
No, they won't.
So yeah, you're right. I think there should be time.
And that's it. I mean, as we expected, Manuel wins.
Yeah.
Nerys gets second.
Yeah.
So incredibly happy and proud of her. So incredibly happy and proud of her.
That's when we'll be back.
And Colleen shocked the hell out of all of us and got third. Like
Definitely.
Corey finishes and he said something along the lines of like, I didn't get any money, but I crashed.
Yeah, I guess that.
I liked that line though.
Yeah.
And then Berna did finish it, which surprised me as well a little bit.
You know what? Great point. Because I've said multiple times she's done. But I also said it last week. There's no way she's finished.
Right.
So she finished it. Good for her. She'll be at the reunion episode.
The reunion looks insane. I heard that there's like, they all tell me, I saw on social media that allegedly there's some like beef with like Chance and like amongst like Cara and Tori, which is the preview, like some other stuff. And so like I'm very, very, very curious to watch this. We may or may not cover it. We'll let you know. Do you want to cover it?
We can do it. Yeah, we can figure it out.
So we'll cover it.
But like, yeah, I just like we know that we missed out on one champ. That's a big deal. So with Mariah and James, that was a big one. And so, I mean, we never have bananas in that situation, you know.
No, yeah. He was filming.
Traders too.
Not Traders. What was the other?
I mean, it was never brought in. Who knows? They do something. Do we know who was hosting? I didn't even pay attention. Who's hosting?
Maria Maduro. Who's done it lots of times.
Love her. Oh yeah, she's
so
great.
She's great.
She's gonna be.
I don't think so. I don't think so because they all like.
She's old school.
They all posted on their social. Maybe virtually. Maybe. Okay.
No, you're fine. Time in.
I don't know that I want to do won the episode because like Emmanuel won. So Emmanuel, okay, won the season.
Nerys. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna have you say on 3. Right?
Okay.
On 3.
1,
2, 3.
Nerys. Yay! We agree. Yay! She was awesome.
Nerys won the season, hands down. Amazing. Cannot wait to see her more. She's an entire package. I hope sincerely she loves you.
Beautiful young lady. Just want to see a different top on your your confessions because I know it comes afterwards or whatever else, but it's always the same top. Like
Well, they only did one
no,
outfit.
I don't
They only
care.
did one
I don't
outfit
want
this
one
season.
outfit.
I think some seasons they do more than one outfit, but this season they just had the one.
Don't like it. But no, she was great overall. Everything from top to bottom, competitor, social game, political game, your confessional, everything else, great. So
yeah,
and again, can't stress enough competitor how many times she was in there doing this thing. So Luis
lost the season.
Berna, I can't stand her. I don't ever want to see her again. I don't want to see. I'm tired
either. I don't either.
Yeah, it's Berna. It's the whole
I don't want to see Berna again.
If someone's not giving her enough attention, then she goes and puts him against a wall and starts telling them why she doesn't like him. And
I wish her well. Like I know she's on Survivor, where she's from right now.
Right.
So I'm glad she's still getting calls, and like I want her to have success. I don't know that this is the venue for her.
Runner up, Jay. Oh, Michelle. But for losing the episode, though. The season, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably Jay.
I know that they got a lot of like backlash and stuff on social media, and that like I feel bad for that. Like I don't want anyone to like really get beat up,
but that's what they're gonna do. That's also what we're doing. So.
Cringe-worthy. Do we want to do cringe-worthy moment of the episode? Was there a cringe-worthy moment?
All I know is that
you know what? It wasn't cringe, but what I like, it was kind of like a cat standing on its hind legs, like something unusual that we're not used to seeing. Was TJ being like, "It's a baby hill. It's a baby hill. Like, come on." Like,
yeah.
And that was cute. But then like how he then like doubled down and was like, "I'm not gonna let you quit." Like that was really cool. I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
I can't think of a cringe.
Well, it's a moment that obviously I was like, this is ridiculous, to be honest with you. And then TJ has to point it out, like, it's nothing, and he's right. And Corey has to turn around and be like, TJ was right all along. What are you doing? So, yeah. Not loud. Unfortunately.
It was.
She's in from the second half of the season on, she's not been the best. So I guarantee you, do this in a week in reunion, it's going to be more anti-Berna than because she's going to be.
You really think so? I don't think it's going to be anti-Berna. I think there are bigger fish to fry.
Well, I hope it doesn't happen, but I feel like she just can't not get out of the window. So.
About wait for you to see Manuel's outfit because I've seen it. You haven't.
No.
I think I'm probably like doing that thing that my sister does sometimes, where it's like you build something up so much that like when you finally see it, because it's been built up so much, it's like not that great.
It's gonna
like just forget what I'm
saying. I already understand. It's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be terrible. No, I know.
It's not.
It's gonna annoy me. How's that?
That is probably likely.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have like just like one or two things.
Sure. Yeah, you have a baby. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. No, I'm happy.
Beautiful.
They had to go through a lot of things. Yeah. To get there. That's like, awesome. Yeah. I don't follow them on Instagram. I don't do all that stuff. So that's good. So nothing. You don't watch Home Turf or anything?
Oh yeah, I did. I watched the entirety of the Darrell Home Turf.
Yeah.
I wish there was more.
It was good. Darrell's was good.
I love Darrell. Yeah. I watched him. Campus Crawl was my favorite road girl.
Okay.
I loved that one.
Yeah.
You know, that brought us Tim, Rachel, Kendall, Sarah. We kind of like didn't care for, but then she like became badass. She went into like a million eliminations. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's good. Loved Darrell. Always loved Darrell. Again, wanted more. I would have I wanted like a podcast, like talking like deeper into things that I've heard about, even, you know, like the Brad punch. He like briefly was just like, that was bad.
You're right. Yeah. Or I
You know.
or I was a pyromaniac. Well, am I? What? I'm sorry. What?
Right.
I'm sorry. Did you? What did you light on fire? It's like, yeah, I was a pyromaniac. And then I made it to college. Like, no. No one just goes from an 8-year-old pyromaniac to just I made it into college. Like,
and I'd like to
can
hear
you help
more
me
about
out here?
his boxing career.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
and
What did you light on fire? Like, let's get the what's
Yeah.
going on here?
I
Yeah,
just
no, it was good. I liked it. I watched probably the last 3 weeks of these, and every time like it's not bananas, I don't care. I want bananas. I watch everyone. And yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Durrell's is one of the best I've seen.
I think
since
Bananas is
CT,
going to be like the end. It's going to be like the denouement.
I think this is going to be the most so what I'm looking for. I don't think it's going to be that big of a-
Underwhelming.
Yeah. Because I think I know enough about him.
Bananas, yeah.
It's like,
Well, and yeah, like we listen to podcasts, and,
Yeah.
and I think that's the thing with fans like us,
mhm.
and we like listen to other podcasts and know enough about them that like this like little like cute YouTube thing is more for like the casual,
Yeah.
the casual fan that like just watches the show.
And if you go back to 5 weeks ago, the CT, I'm like, no more DM. That's all I said about that. I'm like, the relationship
I think we'll
between
eventually get
those two
there. I think we'll
is a
eventually
bigger
get
deal
there.
to me than everything else. How he got there, because I knew a little bit of how CT got there and everything else. I got the show, but I mean, outside of it, I would have rather had, and I already said this, DM and his time in Paris, how much he was avoiding the cameras instead of like everything else they've done. So I think Bananas is going to be underwhelming, but I'm going to love it.
Also, I did get you to watch or listen to the Jemmy pod, and we had a
Yes.
little bit about it. Okay, I know you said you thought it was. Well, what did you think?
Okay, what I said to you was, please ask her to be on her podcast, the show, which I think
Love
is
that.
good. I said that for someone who criticizes production so much, her podcast is overproduced. Now, I'm not being
Well, yeah,
overly
she's paid for it. Like
yeah,
it's like
not
her
being
company.
overly critical or whatever thing else. I don't want to break like mirrors for anyone, but if you listen to it, it sounds more like a prolonged TikTok than a podcast. You can tell when it's cut, but when it's conversation that, and once you hear it, you can't unhear it. That's the thing.
Okay, so Charlie noticed that as well, like because I had him listen to it the other night. I don't pay attention to those things, and I think the average person that listens to a podcast, I don't think pays attention to those things, like the cuts and the blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, but the behind the scenes stuff,
Oh yeah, that's good. It's good.
and also like let's give this girl some credit. This is like, yes, she is a TV personality, and yes, she knows how to like professionally speak, but it is also her first podcast, and she was solo for the majority of it. Like
1,000%. And thank you for pointing that out.
Let's go back to our first podcast.
Yeah, thank you for pointing that out. It is not easy to do by yourself. So that is a great call. So I do apologize to Jemmy and any Jemmy's fans or whatever else for saying that, because that is a really, really good point. To go for
an hour.
Yeah, heck, 15 minutes, and she goes for hour 15 or whatever else. But even to do 7 minutes on your own is tough to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really good point, Wyckoff. I do appreciate that, and I take that back, because that's hard to do. It really is.
But the behind the scenes stuff, something that I thought was really, really like it was new information to me, and I thought was like really beautiful, was when she spoke about when Night passed and when DM passed. It was after Battle of the Sexes 2, they were both on it.
Yeah.
And DM, obviously she was sick. We knew that. And she passed like early November, and then Night passed unexpectedly like the day after Thanksgiving or the day before Thanksgiving. So like mid-November.
Yeah.
So like within a month. And production said, like called CT, and we're like, what do we do? like, should we air this season? And they both said yes. Like, this is what they would have wanted. I thought that was, like, incredibly, like, this is, like, something that, like, in reality TV, I feel like I don't know, but, like, was very incredibly, like, unprecedented. And for them to reach out to, you know, Jemmye and CT and be like, what do we do? I feel like that was incredibly considerate
of
and
course,
amazing.
yeah, that's definitely.
And so, like, to know that now, like, after having watched that season probably 4 times, because, like, I'm emotional and, like, I like to, like, rewatch
don't
it.
get
and, like,
emotional right now.
but I'm not going to get emotional right now. But I'm just saying, like, I've rewatched that season many times because, like, as a viewer, I, like, really do care about these people that I don't even know, you know? And to hear that story was really
I'm glad
cool.
they reached out and did whatever else. But
So, like, that's what I'm, like, really looking forward to with her podcast, is that kind of stuff. And she said, like, okay, this is something that we could talk about another time. This is something we could talk about another time. I'm like, whoa,
good.
And she's like,
well, I hope we get her on.
And she's like, and I'm going to reword it myself. Like, I don't have the handcuffs of, I have to get a call back, that I can just say whatever the fuck I want.
Because she doesn't care. Yeah, I don't need it.
And I found that, like, really powerful as well. And also, like, me being a challenge fan, I'm like, give me.
Oh, 100%. That's a great thing, because it's like, we can listen to Tori
we
and
have all these
and everything, but then they're just gonna, you know, they're gonna get a call back, and you have to, like,
they have to be careful.
Back. But she's like, I don't care.
Well, and they comb through, from what I can understand, like, a podcaster from, like, a different TV show has said, there have been episodes of her podcast that, like, production has been like, nope, sorry, you can't do that because you talked about something that's going to be on the show. Like, so we've got to, like, get rid of this part. Like, they go in and they comb through it. So, like, she doesn't have to do that. So, she's freaking awesome. Anyway, all right. Season 39. We did it.
Here we go. We got reunion.
Huzzah!
We did it.
Well, we did it. Yeah. Until reunion.
Well, thanks, everybody.
What else you got
thanks for dealing with that. Nothing. That's it. We got 40 coming up soon. There's plenty of surprises, things that we may or may not know. There's people on Twitter that have said that they're on things. I know Bananas has talked about other people that he thinks are going to be on 40 on his.
It's like
podcast.
Everywhere.
And Jemmye said the same thing, that she knows people that are speculating. So 40's coming up soon, and let's pay attention to reunion and figure out what we want to do from there.
Heck yeah. Well, follow us on Twitter, Final Alliance 1, Instagram, Final Alliance. On YouTube, we're Final Alliance Podcast. Please comment, subscribe. We love to hear what you have to say. On Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, we're Final Alliance Podcast.
Good seeing y'all.